In the Roaring Twenties, a new era was dawning, the age of aviation. In 1927, a fledgling airline named Pan American Airways took to the skies. Before we go on, please subscribe and share. Its first flight, a humble mail run from Key West, Florida to Havana, Cuba. Little did anyone know this small airline would soon become a giant, a symbol of American ingenuity and adventure. Pan Am's early days were defined by innovation. It pioneered new routes, connecting the United States to Latin America and beyond. The iconic Clipper flying boats became synonymous with luxury and exotic travel. Passengers, dressed in their finest attire, would embark on journeys to far-flung destinations, experiencing the magic of flight in an era when it was still a novelty. The airline's commitment to customer service was unparalleled. Pan Am's flight attendants, known as stewardesses, were the epitome of glamour and professionalism. They catered to passengers' every need, ensuring a comfortable and memorable journey. The airline's attention to detail, from the exquisite meals served on fine china to the personalized service, set a new standard for air travel. Pan Am's early successes were a testament to the vision of its founder, Juan Trippe. Trippe was a visionary leader who believed in the transformative power of aviation. He saw a future where air travel would be accessible to all, connecting people and cultures across the globe. Under his guidance, Pan Am became a pioneering force, shaping the future of the airline industry. The dawn of the jet age in the 1950s ushered in a golden era for Pan Am. The airline was among the first to embrace this revolutionary technology, acquiring a fleet of Boeing 707s and Douglas DC-8s. These sleek, powerful aircraft could fly faster and farther than ever before, shrinking the world and making international travel more accessible. Pan Am's global network expanded rapidly, connecting major cities across continents. The airline's iconic globe logo became a symbol of its far-reaching reach. Passengers could now jet-set from New York to London in a matter of hours, experiencing the thrill of supersonic speeds and the allure of distant lands. The glamour of air travel reached new heights during this period. Pan Am's flights were the epitome of sophistication, frequented by celebrities, dignitaries, and the jet-set elite. Passengers enjoyed luxurious amenities, including spacious cabins, gourmet meals, and attentive service. Flying Pan Am was not just a means of transportation, it was an experience, a symbol of status and adventure. The airline's success during the jet age solidified its position as a leader in the aviation industry. Pan Am was synonymous with innovation, luxury, and global connectivity. Its iconic image and reputation for excellence made it one of the most recognizable and admired brands in the world. The future seemed limitless for this aviation giant. The year 1978 marked a turning point for the US airline industry. The Airline Deregulation Act, aimed at fostering competition, swept across the land. This act dismantled the long-standing regulatory structure that had governed the industry for decades. Airlines were now free to set their own fares and routes, sparking a wave of change that would reshape the aviation landscape. For Pan Am, the deregulation presented both opportunities and challenges. The airline, accustomed to operating in a protected environment, now faced fierce competition from new entrants and established carriers alike. The skies, once dominated by a handful of major players, were becoming increasingly crowded.
The pressure to adapt was immense. Low-cost carriers emerged, offering no-frills flights at significantly lower prices. Pan Am, with its legacy cost structure and commitment to a premium service, found itself struggling to compete in this new environment. The airline's management, accustomed to a more regulated era, seemed slow to react to the rapidly changing market dynamics.
The deregulation, while intended to benefit consumers, created turbulence for established airlines like Pan Am. The airline's dominance, built over decades of careful route planning and government protection, was suddenly under threat. The winds of change were blowing, and Pan Am would need to adapt quickly to survive in this new, more competitive era. As if deregulation wasn't enough, the 1970s brought another shock to the aviation world. The oil crisis, the price of jet fuel, the lifeblood of airlines, soared to unprecedented heights. This sent shockwaves through the industry, forcing airlines to scramble for ways to offset their escalating operating costs. Pan Am, with its fuel-thirsty fleet of long-haul aircraft, was hit particularly hard. The airline's profitability, already under pressure from increased competition, took a significant hit.
Management implemented cost-cutting measures, but these proved insufficient to stem the tide of red ink. The fuel crisis exposed a fundamental challenge for Pan Am: its reliance on long-haul international routes. These routes, while prestigious, were inherently more vulnerable to fluctuations in fuel prices. Domestic airlines, with their shorter routes and more fuel-efficient aircraft, were better positioned to weather the storm.
The crisis forced Pan Am to confront the need for change. The airline's business model, built on a foundation of high fares and premium service, was becoming increasingly unsustainable in an era of rising costs and intensifying competition. Pan Am needed to find a way to become more efficient and adapt to the new realities of the airline industry. In the late 1970s, Pan Am made a bold move by acquiring National Airlines. This decision was seen as a strategic attempt to strengthen its domestic network and compete more effectively with other major carriers.
We believed that bringing National Airlines into the Pan Am family would provide us with the domestic routes we needed to stay competitive. It was a significant investment, but we were optimistic about the long-term benefits.
However, the acquisition came with its own set of challenges. Integrating the two airlines was more complex than anticipated, and the financial strain began to show.
The merger was not as seamless as we had hoped. There were operational difficulties and unexpected costs that put additional pressure on our already tight budget.
Despite these hurdles, Pan Am continued to push forward, determined to maintain its position as a leading global airline. On December 21, 1988, Pan Am Flight 103 was tragically brought down by a terrorist bomb over Lockerbie, Scotland. This devastating event marked a dark chapter in the airline's history.
The Lockerbie bombing was a turning point for aviation security. It exposed vulnerabilities and led to significant changes in how airlines and airports approached safety measures.
The impact of the bombing was profound, not just for Pan Am but for the entire aviation industry. The loss of lives and the subsequent investigation brought to light the need for heightened security protocols.
In the aftermath, there was a global push to enhance security. Airlines had to adopt stricter screening processes and invest in advanced technology to prevent such tragedies from happening again.
The Lockerbie bombing remains a somber reminder of the ever-present threats in the aviation world and the continuous need for vigilance and innovation in security practices.
The recession of the early 80s hit the airline industry hard. Pan Am, already struggling with rising fuel costs and increased competition, faced significant financial challenges.
Deregulation allowed new airlines to enter the market, often with lower operating costs. Pan Am, with its extensive international network, found it difficult to compete on price. To stay afloat, Pan Am began selling off valuable assets. The sale of the Pacific routes to United Airlines was a significant move. Despite efforts to restructure and cut costs, Pan Am could not overcome its financial difficulties.
It was heartbreaking to see such an iconic airline struggle. Pan Am was more than just an airline. It was a symbol of American ingenuity and adventure.
Even though Pan Am ceased operations in 1991, its legacy lives on in many ways.
Working for Pan Am was a dream come true. The training, the standards, the sense of pride. We set the bar high for the entire industry.
Pan Am's pioneering spirit, its role in shaping international air travel, and its iconic brand will always be remembered. For more travel content, please let's have your views. Do subscribe, like and share.